Well, according to the latest Progress in International Reading Literacy study, 81% of grade 4 pupils in South Africa can't read for meaning. The study is an assessment of reading achievement and is conducted every 5 years in around 40 countries. Now, let's discuss this. We're now joined via Zoom by Hendrick Makaneta, Foundation for Education and Social Justice Africa Deputy Chairperson. Sir, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Your reaction to the study that has essentially revealed that 8 out of 10 grade 4 pupils in South Africa cannot read for meaning.
Well, definitely the Progress in International Reading Literacy study has really highlighted serious gaps when it comes to reading, particularly of our learners in the intermediate phase. In short, the statistics, as you have just indicated, clearly indicate that South Africa as a country is not a nation of readers. Our priorities as a nation are misplaced, and we really need to find a way to ensure that we inculcate the spirit of reading in communities, particularly in poor schools, rural communities, as well as townships. It cannot be correct that at this point we carry on business as usual. We really need to do something drastic to make sure that we remedy the situation.
I mean, just to, again, just further explain to our readers, essentially what this also found in terms of reading for meaning is that, the 2016 study found that 78% of South African children in grade 4 could not read for meaning in any language whatsoever. All 11 official languages were used in this assessment. So just talking about 2016, this is an increase from that year. What does this then say just about the fragility and the critical state of the education system when you start talking and looking at the foundation phase of the education system?
Well, it actually shows that there is a need for the basic education department to up its game. We already have many other challenges, but at this point we really want to call upon government to intensify the Read to Lead campaign. You will recall that when this statistics first, were first revealed, Basic Education Minister Hendrick came up with a campaign which she called the Read to Lead campaign. And I'm saying that such a campaign can certainly go a long way to assist our schools, particularly those in rural areas. What is required is that government must just intensify that Read to Lead campaign with a view to ensure that every community is equipped with a mobile library in the short term, so that in the long term, government can be able to provide fully fledged libraries for all communities, where the libraries that we have now are not enough. And we really think that government must collaborate with the private sector to make sure that they speed up the provision of these mobile libraries. NGOs as well must also come on board to make sure that really we have got this active citizenship in relation to reading. We really need to inculcate the spirit of reading, not only in schools, but also in communities.
When you look at just the latest stats that have come around unemployment, which also reveal, that youth unemployment remains critically high and that improving the quality of, as well as the access of education, as you're saying now, is key. When we look at some of these statistics that reveal, for instance, that, unemployment is the highest amongst those with matric certificates at 48.3%. You talk about this Read to Lead campaign. How do you think this will help at least further, youth in this regard?
Well, the Read to Lead campaign will certainly develop our young people, with a view to ensure that they can be able to prosper in the academic streams that they take. But of course, you are correct, the rate of unemployment is very high, even amongst those who have completed a matric certificate. This actually talks to the quality of learning and teaching that the learners receive in our schooling system. We think that there is a need for government to modernize the education system so that it can be in line with the demands of the fourth industrial revolution. I'm sure you will also agree with me that many of the jobs that exist today will become obsolete in the near future. And we therefore need to move with the times to make sure that even our curriculum is aligned with the goals of the 4IR, as I've already said, but also to ensure that our learners can be able to participate in the global mainstream economy and be employable as such, but also the issue of entrepreneurship, also very, very important. And all of these things can take place if we make sure that we prioritize our foundation phase to make sure that our learners are able to read for meaning. I'm sure you will also agree that even if you want to build a house, if the foundation is weak, your roof or the entire structure might fall at some point. We really need to strengthen the foundation phase by making sure that our learners are able to read for meaning at school level.
Well, other organizations have put the blame following this study squarely on government's door, with AfriForum saying that the state is failing the country's children. Is that also your view?
I don't think that the state is deliberately failing the country's children. I just think that our priorities as a nation are misplaced. And of course, we know that there are many other challenges that a government is dealing with, such as addressing the issue of poverty, unemployment, as well as inequality. The issue of food security, whereby, in the schooling system, we know that government is able to provide nutrition for our learners. And I think that it is about time that the Basic Education Minister also, as I've said, intensify the Read to Lead campaign. Because as we speak, that campaign is ongoing, but I don't think that it really affects the entire schooling system. There are still communities which do not have the culture of reading, where you find that, even poor communities, for example, in townships, you find that when it is weekend, people just continue to drink and celebrate as usual. That culture needs to be fought with or replaced with the culture of reading in our communities. We really need our leaders in communities as well as NGOs to actively take this message of a Read to Lead campaign with a view to make sure that we are able to create a conducive environment for our children to prosper in this country.
All right, Mr. Makaneta, thank you so much for your time. Let's leave it there for now. Hendrick Makaneta, Foundation of Education and Social Justice, Africa Deputy Chairperson, just responding there to this international reading literacy study that's found that 81% of grade 4 pupils in South Africa cannot read for meaning. That essentially means roughly 8 out of 10 children need help locating and retrieving explicitly stated information in simple text.